Appreciate it. Let's get over to Brett.
All right, Gene, thank you. It is a sport that is growing exponentially in popularity, and it's that time of year again when we peel back the curtain and get a look into mixed martial arts. The Ultimate Fighter premieres tonight on Fox Sports 1, and joining us now, one of the new coaches for the reality series, Miesha Tate. Miesha, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Now, this is the first season to feature both female fighters and female coaches. You're one of the coaches, so you were coaching both the men and the women. So let's start right there. Who is harder to instruct, the guys or the ladies?
I'm going to go with the girls. Yeah, they're a little bit more difficult, and maybe that's just my lack of experience because I've just trained with men for 98% of my career. So it was just less familiar to me.
What were the challenges then in teaching the women, really, that you've done so much training with the guys in the past?
Yeah, you know, guys are just a lot more just nonchalant. They're just kind of like, you know, whatever, they go in there, they get it done, they don't talk much, you know, and there's a couple times I had to crack down on the girls for just giggling or talking too much, you know. I felt like I kind of had to be like, hey, knock it off, you know, you're not drilling as fast as the guys are, you know, don't give us a bad name, you guys better, you know, get to it. So that was really the only challenge I suppose I had with the girls.
And I want to talk about your competition here for a moment, because Ronda Rousey, she coaches the other team, and for those that don't follow the UFC very closely, the distaste you and Rousey have for one another is as acrimonious as Red Sox Yankees fans have for each other. So did it ever reach a point where the two of you were ready to throw down at all while the cameras were rolling during this?
Well, you want me to be honest? Well, there was definitely some times where we butted heads, but we were able to, for the most part, at least speaking for myself, maintain enough professionalism to not just, you know, for me to not just knock her out right there. But I'm not saying it was easy. I'm not going to go that far. It was not easy. But, you know, knowing that I get to punch her in December was rewarding enough to let me hold off for a little bit.
So you have that to look forward to. The UFC has come such a long way. In the early days, it was just guys coming to blows with one another, but it has evolved. I mean, you got to be trained in boxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu. You're trained in wrestling. It's physical, but it's almost like a chess match out there at times, trying to predict what your opponent is looking to do. So in training these competitors on your team, what do you have to spend the most time on getting your team ready to fight?
You know, obviously a big part of it is training, but I think everybody at this level trains really, really hard, and they all have their different skill sets. So really, I tried to keep them on track mentally and emotionally, because when you take fighters, I mean, literally 16 fighters, 8 women, 8 men, half on my team, half on Ronda's team, and you lock them in a house for 6 weeks and give them no contact with the outside world, that's enough to drive your average person crazy, much less people that they're going to be fighting. You're living and potentially sleeping on a bunk bed below your opponent. You know what I mean? And that's just crazy circumstances for anybody. So really just trying to keep them grounded in that sense was pretty challenging. And, you know, that was one of probably the biggest obstacles as a coach, is trying to figure out a way to do that.
Makes for great TV. The Ultimate Fighter has launched more than 100 careers. There's a 6-figure payout for who wins this, and it premieres tonight on Fox Sports 1. Miesha Tate, we appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thanks.